Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Davy Backlog, YouTube edition. I am your host, Davy, and if you tuned into my last stream, you probably saw me struggling quite a bit with the final boss in Star Fox Adventures. I was not prepared for how hard it was. Nothing I saw online ever suggested that it was as difficult as it is, but yeah, it's quite challenging. It's practically a bullet hell segment. Um, and it's funny because I watched a video before attempting this again, stating that they actually had totally different plans for the final boss fight, and it really shows. Like, it was not supposed to be this. I'm pretty sure General Scales was supposed to be the final boss, but it is what it is. This is what the final product was. But I tried one more time between the stream and this recording, and I think I have a strategy at least for the asteroid part where he's firing a bunch of asteroids at you. If I just shoot like crazy instead of moving around, I don't think they can hit me. So that might help me conserve some of my health. Because the key thing is just having enough health for when you get to the final part of the fight. As you've seen, when I get to that part, I'm down to like 2 or even 1 health. So hopefully just shooting all the asteroids will help me conserve my health a little bit more. We shall see. But without further ado, why don't we go ahead and jump in to the final boss of Star Fox Adventures. And since I'm locking in, I will be muting myself for this part, but I'll be sure to come off mute and give my impressions of the game as we watch the ending. So, see y'all in a bit.
different planet, and you still need Falco's help. It's good to see you, buddy.
Okay, hopping back on the mic. You saw what I did there. So, the key thing, it's still a really hard fight, but the thing that I was doing wrong in every previous attempt was I was trying to dodge the asteroids. You're supposed to just shoot them as they come head on. Now, I mean, you might still have to move a little bit to get the silver rings, but yeah. Don't try to dodge the asteroids, just shoot whatever's straight ahead of you. And you should have a lot more health by the end, just by doing that. So, I'm gonna mute myself again.
time, different planet, and you still need Falco's help. It's good to see you, buddy.
Finally! Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to like go back and count how many attempts that took. You have to like look at the stream, the one attempt I did between the stream and this video, and then these two attempts. So I guess, yeah, just add 3 to whatever I did on the stream. Goodness, that was unnecessarily difficult. Thing is, again, from what I've read online and from what they said in that video, the final boss wasn't supposed to be Andros. This was its own game before it became a Star Fox game, and so they probably had something totally different in mind for the final boss. I think one of the YouTubers I was watching was even saying that apparently Fox and Falco were supposed to fight hand to hand against General Scales at one point. I don't know. Just, you could tell, like, the way, how clunky that fight was, that's not what the final fight was supposed to be. Like, it still doesn't make sense to me how Andros fused with this planet's god. Anyway, let's watch the ending, why don't we? And then I'll give my overall thoughts on the game. We got a championship belt? Yay, the planet is saved. Let's get the heck out of here.
We did it, Fox! Dinosaur Planet is saved! Andros is defeated once again!
You all did a great job.
General Pepper here. Good work, Star Fox team. I received a message from the king.
Are they gonna explain where Falco was the whole game?
Saving their world. Oh, and Tricky says hi. I was, however, very surprised to hear that Andros was still alive.
Not as much as we were!
Yeah, I was pretty
It
shocked
seems
too.
that Andros discovered the ancient power of the Krazoa, and by trapping Crystal, who had the ability to channel this power, he was able to use this energy to revive himself.
At least this time we'll see the last of him. I'm transferring your fee as we speak. Ever out.
Okay, I guess that explains it
Woohoo! Yeah!
somewhat.
We can finally repair the ship!
And I really need some oil. These joints are not what they used to be.
And I can't wait to get back with the Star Fox team. Hey guys, you don't mind if I hang with you again, do ya?
Where were you?
Sure, Falco. It's great to have you back.
The Star Fox team is back together again! Oh, Fox! I almost forgot! I received this message from Crystal.
Hi, Fox. I really appreciate what you did for me. I'm just so sorry we didn't get much of a chance to talk. I'm left with just one more thing to do.
Oh, it's what I think.
And that's to say thank you.
Well, okay. I mean, sure, no problem.
You're not shy, are you, Fox?
My sensors indicate Fox's temperature is rising. Are you okay, Fox?
I'm gonna be just fine.
I'm gonna assume, having played Star Fox Assault, that that is what leads to her joining the team in that game. Because for those who haven't played it, I don't think there's really a spoiler because it's established in the very beginning of the game. But in Star Fox Assault, Crystal takes Peppy's place on the team, and then Peppy kind of takes like General Pepper's place in a way. Like he becomes the commander, and then the rest of the team, now with Crystal, go on the mission. So I'm assuming that's just explaining why she's on the team in the next game. But man, I'm still left with so many questions. Like, what does she have to do with this planet? Like, why is she the only one that's not a dinosaur? And how is it she can just leave after they save the planet? Like, I don't know. This. They were doing a really good job keeping the plot going, despite the fact that they had to change so much to make it a Star Fox game. But I think by the end, it kind of fell apart. Like, all right, let me just go ahead while the credits are rolling and give my consensus on the game. So, in some aspects, this game was very ahead of its time. I said it before on the stream. I mean, it had full voice acting. It had all these different like mini games and challenges and puzzles. Like it was a very diverse game. You were rarely doing the same thing between each, like, I guess you could say, chapter of the game. Graphics were really good for the time. Lots of diverse environments. Lots of just variety and scenery. So I mean, even though this wasn't supposed to be a Star Fox game, they did a good job like saving all the good ideas they had when it was called Dinosaur Planet. That being said, like, man, this game really shows its age. Some of the clunky aspects. As I mentioned, you know, aiming your blaster, the lack of a jump button, the lack of being able to control the camera. And some of these are just old video game things. Like, I've just, hate to admit it, but been spoiled by recent video games and all the conveniences they offer. But like not being able to skip cutscenes and having to rewatch the same cutscene over and over, like especially with this boss fight, that was brutal. And yeah, I think nothing in the game. I gotta really think before I make this statement. I want to say nothing in the game was genuinely bad, except for maybe that last boss fight. I just wish like certain things were telegraphed to you better, because as you saw through this playthrough, there were so many puzzles where like it just was not clear what you had to do, and you had to figure it out either through trial and error or like watching someone on YouTube do it. Thankfully, I had my helpful moderator King there to guide me for some of those parts where I got stuck. But yeah, they did not make various aspects of this game clear. The fact that Fox can knock over a tree if there's eyes in it, and he shoots those eyes. That totem pole puzzle that you're apparently supposed to shoot it to stop the things from spitting. So many things. This game really does show its age, despite the fact that in other aspects, it was very ahead of its time and well designed. So I'm glad I got to play it, because again, it's a moment. It's historical, really. I was gonna say moment in history, but it's historical. It's Rare's last game developed for a Nintendo console, and it's the only Star Fox game that really plays like this. Like Assault tried to incorporate some of the on-foot gameplay, but really, like, this is so different from every other game in the series. Like, again, more people compare it to Zelda than an actual Star Fox game. So I'm still glad I got to experience it, see what it was all about. I knew it existed, just never got around to playing it. Wow, 99%. So we literally did almost everything in the game. There's like 1% we didn't complete. Maybe it was like buying up all the items in the shop or something. But I'm satisfied with that. 99% is great. I don't need to go back and finish whatever the remaining 1% is. So yeah, overall, I'm glad I experienced it, just to see what a different kind of Star Fox game could be like if they change up the gameplay but still keep the characters. And just for the historical value of this game. You could say it's like Rare's swan song before they went full Microsoft. So I don't regret experiencing it. There were definitely aspects of this game I liked. Honestly, some of our most entertaining and liveliest streams were playing this game. So for that, I am grateful. That being said, I don't think I'm ever going to want to play this one again. Just too much jank and too many dated aspects that kind of take away from the experience. But gotta give my honest opinion. I didn't say I would like everything that I played in my backlog. And again, I'm not saying I don't like this game. I do like it. I just don't love it for the aforementioned reasons. So anyway, that'll do it for me. I think this has gone... what are we on? This is 8 streams now. 8 streams and a bonus video that we've been doing this. So thank you all for joining me on this journey through Star Fox Adventures. Please be sure to tune in this time next week, where we'll be starting Super Mario Sunshine, which is an all-time classic. Look forward to seeing you there, and until then, have a great evening. Bye!